It's Thursday morning, and it's time for Tech for Seniors Live, where technology gets its deserved deep dive. This isn't happening via Zoom, so we can't see who's joining the show. So please sign in to the chat box below as we gather around the screen, both far and wide, with curiosity as our ever-trusty guide. We'll navigate the digital seas, a knowledgeable crew, exploring all the tech tips, both old and new. No need for cameras, no need for dress. Just bring your questions and we'll address. From gadgets to apps and all the tech lore, we're here to help, to teach, and much more. So type away in the chat. Don't be shy. Our tech-savvy hosts are here to reply. It's Thursday morning. Let the tech talk flow at the Tech for Seniors Live, the best tech show. You're muted.
Let's try that again. Take two. Take two. I'm trying to shorten the intro up, but I didn't do a too good job today. Anyway, this is Tech for Senior Live. It is May the 9th. I'm Ron Brown. I'll be your host today for the next hour. It's a gorgeous day here in Comox. It is absolutely beautiful. So hopefully everyone's having a great time and a great day. Today we're here to talk about all the news of the week. Of course, we'll be talking about the new iPad releases from Apple. And we're going to be talking about the Pixel 8a, which has just been released this week. What a great deal that is. So we're going to talk about that and all the tech news of the week with our panel. Now, you're wondering where we all have come from. And I just want to remind everyone that we do have a show on Monday. There are some of you, I'm concerned, that just may be watching our Thursday show, but we have a show where we broadcast it on Zoom, and we do that on Monday. If you haven't, let me just put our where are we here? We'll put our link to our website here. If you want to come to our Monday show, it is a Zoom meeting. For those of you, this is our website. You can head over there and look in the, and it'll give you all the information to join our Zoom meeting on Monday. We do broadcast that out to YouTube. So if you just want to pop in and watch it on YouTube, that's fine as well. But this, of course, is broadcast on StreamYard. And so we don't know who you are. We can't see you. We don't know who you are. So if you wouldn't mind putting something in the chat. Let us know what the weather is, who you are, where you're calling in from. It's great because then we can introduce you and we can find out who's listening. Otherwise, we just think we're talking to ourselves, and we like to talk and talk and talk and talk, right? All right, I'm working fast. I'm told that I have to shorten up this intro, so we'll work on that. I want to thank Mike Ungerman for sending some articles in for us to review and put them on, and I have posted them. We do encourage you, if you are listening and you have any articles through the week, if you see anything interesting, just send them along. We'll post them to our Facebook site. And if you want to follow along today, this is our Facebook page, and we post all the articles to our Facebook page. So if you want to join or subscribe or whatever you want to do with our Facebook page, we put all the articles that we look at through the week on the Facebook page, and that's what we go through today. And you can actually follow them along as we go through. It's sometimes hard to see on our small screen. So today I thought I would introduce everybody. I'll be brief. I'll introduce everybody, but I'm going to introduce them in order of their internet speed. So fastest goes first and slowest goes last, right? We were talking about this before. So fastest goes first and slowest goes last. So now Huey and I are sort of a tie. So I'm going to go first. And I have cable. I have cable. Sorry, I have fiber. I just recently switched from cable to fiber, and I have 1 gig down and 1 gig up. And I'm Ron Brown. I work and live over in Comox, British Columbia, a little island off the west coast of Vancouver. Now, Huey Popluck, of course, is in another country, another state, way far away, and he has fiber as well, but was telling me he's thinking about getting 5 gigs of fiber because he's got 1 gig down and 1 gig up. But Huey is a real fast guy and a real mover. So Huey, tell me, what's this 5 gig? Are you really going to do this? Do you just want to be faster than me? No.
I don't see any point in it.
You don't.
So I'm going to stay at the 1 gigabit.
But that was pretty cool.
It's cool. Plenty fast. But yep.
It was,
and here in Western Florida, it's 85 going to 88, and it was 77 overnight.
But that was with Frontier then, and they were going to do Wi-Fi 7 as well as the package deal, right?
Yeah, they're doing Wi-Fi 7 with their own router.
So can you? And we talked about the pricing of this. So for $129, right? $129, you're getting 5 gigs down and 5 gigs up. You're getting a mesh router and Wi-Fi 7, right? For $129. Huey, is anybody going to want to do this old cable thing anymore?
I don't think so. Only those that don't like change.
I think so, eh? All right.
Change.
Now let me introduce Ray Baxter from Pine, Arizona. Of course, Ray is everybody knows Ray really, really well. He's the music director on our show. And he's been telling me all this week because this Monday, I'm going to be doing a big presentation on our show on Monday on 5G and what it means in 2024. So I've been talking to Ray about his internet speeds or his cellular speeds, and Pine, Arizona. Ray, you're out in the middle of would you be embarrassed I said nowhere? I mean, you sort of like that is the only thing you see in your front yard or elk, right?
Most days I see more elk than people.
Right. So, and you're getting what did you say you're getting now as a download speed?
Okay, so I pay for cable speed optimum 300 megabytes and for cable, and it's usually that or more, and it's pretty consistent. But I recently switched from Verizon to T-Mobile, mainly because T-Mobile offers 5G in my little community. Verizon doesn't, and when I call them more than once to find out if it was on their radar, nobody had any idea. So I switched over to T-Mobile, got my nice new Flip 5 phone as well. And so you and I were talking, and I did turned off my Wi-Fi, did a speed test from my phone to the local tower. I know exactly where it is. There's only one tower in Pine. It's at the elementary schoolyard. I got 432 megabytes down.
Holy mackerel. And then you went into Phoenix and you were having lunch at Denny's and you did a speed test for me in Denny's in downtown Phoenix. And what was your download speed?
Over 1 gig.
Over 1 gig.
Now, here's what I gave that more thought since we talked. This is a Denny's restaurant right on the I-17 at Dunlop. Now, maybe the wireless companies, when a freeway, a very active roadway is there, they make it more
accessible.
They have it set up more accessible and more speed, because they know so many more people are going to be using that and driving through. So maybe that's the reason why, because it was on the I-17.
But you're a pretty fast guy. Well done.
Now, it surprised me more than it surprised you, Ron.
Yeah, right. Now we're going to talk about a man who is really a mover and shaker and a leader in his time, but he is struggling a bit with slow internet, and that would be Mr. Bob Gastisha from Los Lunas, New Mexico, who is our security expert on our Monday show, and he also is I guess we'll call him a trendsetter. He's an influencer. He's certainly a very knowledgeable person who makes a lot of videos on AI and all technology. But Bob, by geographic location, does struggle a little bit with speed, right, Bob?
Yes and no. It may be a struggle with speed, but dependability, I never seem to have any problems.
Oh, okay.
And I just recently got an increase in speed. I used to have 60 down, and now at 150 down. Okay, so that's a big increase. My upload speed, which is what I need when I upload the videos, that was about 16, 17 up. Now we're talking about 60 up. That's a big increase. Yes, it's slow compared to what you guys do, but it's what I've gotten used to. For me, it's a great big increase.
All right. Maybe if you're listening out there, if you can let us know what are your download speeds? What's everyone out there listening? What is their download speeds? What are they experiencing? Ray, I must say that I'm truly impressed on your speeds. I mean, obviously the 5G technology has come a long way in the in Arizona. It looks, but it should, because I mean, with all those high-tech buildings they're building and all the chip plants and everything, I mean, the whole thing has got to be fast, right?
Absolutely. And we are what you might consider a high-tech state when you look at the different types of technology companies, particularly chip manufacturers that are located in this state.
Right. Well, pretty cool. All right. Before we get on to the first news articles, Huey, is there anyone listening to us?
Yes, there is.
Dick Vogel, toasty in Central Florida today. Gerald Smith, West Seattle, very sunny at 55 degrees. Yes, we're going to have a great day, I think, here. Liz from Milford, Ohio, cool and rainy. Oh, okay. Sally Ann from Kirkland, Washington, expect 80 on Friday and Saturday. Oh my gosh, yes, it is, because you're in part of this big West Coast high that we've got here. That's going to be nice for Mother's Day, back to 70 on Sunday. Betty, hello from Clearwater, Florida. Hello, Betty.
And you skipped Steve Powell.
Did I?
From Kirkland.
Yep. Did you meet Steve? There you go, Steve from Kirkland, 52 degrees and sunny.
And we got one more in.
And Gary just came.
Gary Bowden from Victoria. Yes, sunny. Yes, it's a great day to be in Victoria. Great day to be on the island today. It is indeed. All right. So that's it. All right. We'll talk a little bit now about the two big news articles that we want to talk about first. Let me come down here. Now, I guess let's do the Apple first. And I want to do before we actually get into the iPad, because Apple released, of course, their new iPads this week. I wanted, just because I think I've got it teed up first here. Yeah, it's their new the iPad Pencil Pro, and this is the new one. Apple announces Pencil Pro, a new stylus with haptic feedback and new gestures. Now, what haptic feedback means is when you push down on it, you can actually feel how hard you're pushing, right? It tells you, and you can feel it. So if you're a surgeon making a cut with a scalpel and you're in another country and you want to know how hard to push on that scalpel, when you're pushing down on the tissue, you can actually feel that, even though you're in a different country on a different machine. And that's haptic technology. And the Pencil is going pro as tech giant unveiled the stylus is getting a new Pro variant offering haptic feedback and new gestures. As part of its Let Loose hardware event, Apple revealed that Apple Pencil now included haptic feedback support for the first time in the accessory's history. Adding haptics to the stylus will provide a more natural experience for those who use it for note-taking or artistic purposes. Pretty cool. Now let's look at let's see,
Are you going to ask any questions about the Pencil? Can I give a comment?
Yeah, go ahead, Ray. Yeah, what do you think?
So perhaps if I was a student and was taking notes in class, this type of pencil might be of interest to me. But I can think of many gadgets I could buy with $129 and it would not be a pencil.
Yeah, I guess on my my Pixel book that I have a pen with it. I bought it extra, and to try it out, and I don't flip my Pixel book over into note mode where you can use the pen and write on it. I just don't do that as part. But I guess if I was a student, I might. I mean, I don't.
Ron, I have a question. Do they have the same kind of deal with this pencil as they did with the?
Oh, you get your money back?
Yeah, you get your money back after X number of days. And will we see the same kind of result?
I don't know.
Well, they've had a pencil for quite a while, and what the pencil does is one instance where I saw it in action was somebody was using an iPad to do caricatures at one of the trade shows I went to, and by pressing down a little harder, you got a darker. Just like it would with a regular pencil, you got a darker color or a darker charcoal look. And so it definitely has its uses for people who would use something like that. For those of us, other than just taking notes, handwritten notes or something, it really wouldn't be a lot of benefit. But the people it's going to hurt are the people I can't remember the name of the company that
Whatcom. Is it Whatcom?
Yeah, Whatcom.
Whatcom,
yeah. And they have been selling that kind of a gadget with a little board and the pencil for years, and now it's all the same using just the Apple Pencil.
That's one of the articles I posted, is they predict that's the demise of the company.
I have two Surface laptops, and both of them came with a pen because the Surface does allow you, even though it's a laptop, to write on the screen. Ask me how many times I've used it.
Yeah, I guess, but maybe if you were a student and you were sort of doing a lot of work.
That's what I said in my comment. Yes.
Yeah, maybe you'd probably use it more.
That might be a better way to do.
I have one of those rubber tips on the end of a pen, which I've got a lot of pens like that, and I use it quite often on my iPad because I can just point to different things and I don't have to be putting my finger all over the screen. So I do like that, but that's nothing, that's free versus $129.
Well, let's look at the machine. So let's look at the iPad. We'll look at these. This is the iPad Pro 11. And now the other thing about the iPad Pro is that it has the M4 chip. So they've gone up and they've moved it up from the M2 to M4 chip. So the iPad Pro, and that comes in at about $1,000 US, and that's on the 11-inch screen, and the Apple iPad Pro 13 with the M4 goes up to $1,300. Now those are US figures, so I'm assuming the 1,300. We're probably looking Canadian. We're almost looking at $1,700 for an iPad Pro. Yikes! An iPad Pro.
And those prices are Wi-Fi only. If you want also connectivity to a website, a web tower, you're talking another. I think it's $100 or $200.
Yeah. So if you want the most powerful iPad in the market, one of the most powerful Apple devices, you'll want the M4 powered iPad Pro. Apple says the new M4 chip delivers up to 50% more power than the previous M2 powered Pros. It comes with the new 11 and 13th options, the larger being just 0.5 millimeters. They're thin. So anyway, and the other one was, yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute. So pretty, I mean, impressive, but really expensive, I guess. But I guess people use these as computers, right? I mean, I guess you know, you can use them.
I use mine except for the video work that I do. I probably use it as much as I do my PC. I can sit in the living room. I got a little stand for it, and I can have the TV on, and I'm reading my emails and it going through everything, and it just works fast. It's easy, and I'm real happy with it. I bought the 9th generation. The one before this is the 10th generation, and now the new iPads that they're coming out with are really 11th generation.
So this is the cheaper one. This is coming in at, this is the Apple iPad Air 13-inch. This is the M2 chip, and it's coming in at $800. And this is the middle child of the lineup. It offers a good deal more power than the base iPad, and this is has the M2 chip, and that's going to be around $800. Ray, any comments on that or anything about the iPads? I don't think you own an iPad. You're not an iPad.
Having never owned any Apple product in my lifetime, including an iPad, I am the least qualified today to give an opinion on the event. Now, let me tell you that I did own a Windows-based tablet years ago and found that I rarely used it, preferring to use a computer with a keyboard.
Right.
Admittedly, I'm not the creative type, so I understand why I've never found a need for a tablet.
All right. Well, let's move on. I just let everyone know that those are available, and if you are interested, those are the ones that have just come out with the new stylus. Now, the next one, of course, Google announced their new 8A, which of course is the Google's 8A arrives with a bigger dose of AI, and you'll see it comes in 4 colors, so if there's one consistent theme about the new phones in 2024, it's AI. And that holds true for the newly announced Pixel 8A, which launches on May 14th for $499. Google's affordable Pixel phone will inherit some key AI features from its pricier siblings, as the ability to run the search giant's Gemini Nano model, Audio Magic Eraser, and Best Take Marketing, the first time these tools will be available on Google's budget tier phone line. Now, the other thing that happened in Canada, I was looking on the Google site, was they had a big promotion. There was $140 off that price, plus you can trade your old phone in and get, like Bob and I have Pixel 6s, right? And we can change, we'll get a credit, I think about $100 on that. So that makes these phones extremely affordable. Now,
Ron, it was $120 discount for trading in a Pixel 5.
Pixel 5, okay.
Yeah.
We have Pixel 6s.
Well, no, I have both a 5 and a 6. My wife is using the 5, and I'm using the 6. So I'm kind of thinking of maybe the 6 becomes my wife's and the 8 becomes mine.
Well, you know, the thing that's interesting about this phone, well, there's 2 things that I would say about this phone, and I've got some other stuff here. We can actually there was 2 articles here. Was well, we can talk in a minute if we get some time about this competing against the Apple their iPhone SE, which is really sort of where this is structured. It's a lower end phone and competing, and we can go into that if we have some time. But the key part of this phone is it's priced so well. Like, it really is a pretty darn good phone, and it is priced well. But on the flip side of this, Bob, now here's Bob and I own Pixel 6s, right? And we're sort of looking at where our next, we've had them for about 2 years now, maybe 3, and we're looking at where our next phone's going to be. But the problem is we're in this, AI is coming down the tube here big time. And phones are going to be there's going to be some absolutely screaming changes in phones over the next year, right? Which this does not have. So if you have a phone and you're sitting there and you're on the fence, and it's okay, but you're wondering, is this a phone you should move to? I don't think so. I think you need to wait. But if you really need a phone right now, then this is a heck of a good phone at a very competitively priced, at a big price point. What do you guys think about that assessment?
The 9 is going to be pretty much an expensive phone, but it's going to have all the bells and whistles.
I think so.
That
Yeah,
aren't yet available. So
that's right, Bob.
That's what's right. Still leaving me sitting here saying,
yeah, that's right. We're on the fence on that one. Huey, any comments on that?
Yeah, I think that for the most part, people use their phones for texting, for, believe it or not, for phone calls, and really? checking Facebook, and a few and games. And the games I'm talking about are solitaire and tic-tac-toe and that sort of thing, as opposed to anything that requires a lot of power. And then they're going out and they're buying the top of the line phones because their friends all do, or their kids do.
Right.
And they really don't need to spend that extra money. Now, those of us that are on here, the 4 of us, we do a lot more with our phones, I think. And so we want a little bit more power and the possibility of what it can do. I know the one reason I bought the Galaxy Ultra was the cameras, because I take a lot of pictures with it, and I require a lot of good quality, even close-ups and the zoom pictures. I want a good quality. So to me, that's why I bought the Ultra and pay the extra money.
Ray, any comments?
Yeah, they did a comparison in that article that you pointed out of the Pixel 8a, I think it's called, and the iPhone SE. And which one would I choose? Well, I would go with the Pixel. It has a larger screen, has twice as much RAM, has twice as much storage, and a better camera. To me, there's no question.
The only problem is that Apple people will tend to go with the Apple products on the Apple side, right? I mean,
it's an ecosystem that once you get locked into it, there's no place else to go.
Right. But anyway, so I think that it's interesting. I think it's we'll see. I suspect the 8A will be very popular because it's just priced so well, right? I mean, that's the thing that's really.
You have some comments.
Let's go ahead. Yeah, let's do some comments before we get on the news. Steve Parker, my Wacom tablet has a pressure sensitive stylus for decades. Great for Photoshop. Okay, Steve. Well done. That's good. Yep. Dick Vogel, I'm paying 300 megabytes down, but I just measured 372 on my cable connection. It has been more reliable than the fiber network in our neighborhood. Bob Baxter, Bellevue, Washington, 56 degrees, 74, 56, heading for 74. Yep, it's going to be a nice day for sure. Richard Clarkson, I use the Galaxy Tab S8 and use it in DeX mode, which I love. Okay. Richard Clarkson, also use an external keyboard with it. Right. So I wonder, I don't know if Richard, if you use it actually as a replacement for a PC, do you actually use a PC as well, or is that your main computer, which a lot of people I suspect would do that. Murray says, good morning from sunny Victoria. Unfortunately, I have a bad cough and cold. I tend to use my phone for photography more than I use my DSLR. So the quality of the camera is so important.
Yep.
True story. More people are doing that. They don't use DSLRs anymore. I love Leo Laporte. I'm listening to him on the radio. He's got a whole flock of cameras, and he never uses any of them. He just takes his phones when he travels now. Richard, Dex mode makes it like a PC. Okay, yeah, right. All right, let's get on with the news. Is that it for?
That's it.
Let's get on with the news, and we will go over. I'll just refresh and see if we got any new. Ray probably stuck some stuff in here. Let me get this on stage. And let's come down here to, Bob. Is that Bob's got the first article?
Good morning. Yes.
Yes.
I think that's your
Start off with a promo for Windows Insider. And this gives you the pros and the cons for being an insider.
Bob, do you want to just tell everyone you're an insider and what that means?
Well, number one, it means you get to look at new features before they're released to everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
It can also mean crashes, computer not booting at all. Those things do happen when you're an insider, especially if you're using a really early build. Okay, and there's more than one build available for insiders.
Mm-hmm. And the idea is the insider tests it and gives feedback, and if there's problems, right?
Correct.
Right.
Yep.
Good. Well, thank you.
This tells you how to become an insider if you're interested. It also tells you if you're not willing to take some chances, don't do it.
Okay. Thanks, Bob. And then the rise of AI scams when chatbots go rogue. Ooh.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's good sides and bad sides. I tend to stick with the good side, but there are people that are using AI just for the opposite. AI is pretty smart, and you can train it to be a good guy or a bad guy.
Yes, indeed. All right, let's just come down here. Ray, 10 things Apple forgot to tell us.
Well, this is an article from the Tech Radar, and they point out 10 things that Apple hasn't particularly highlighted about the new iPad Pro and iPad Air models.
Mm-hmm.
Now, to be honest, I read through them all, and there's one I thought that has some meaning, and that's for some people, and that's that the new iPad Pro for 2024 no longer has the 10 megapixel ultra wide camera that came with the 2022 model. So anyway, if you're thinking of buying an iPad, I think this is a worthwhile article to read, before you put down your hard-earned money to make sure you're getting what you think you are.
And you're going to need a lot of that hard-earned money. A lot of that hard-earned money. All right. Okay. Thanks, Ray. And yes. We talked about this earlier. Good one.
We were talking a little bit about this. So really, it's only been 4 months since Amazon added ads to their streaming service, and now they're becoming even more annoying. If you hit the pause button on a movie you're watching, an ad is going to pop up. You can't just pause it and do something, and now there's an ad to be playing in the background. And the article points out other intrusive ways Amazon will interfere with your video watching. Now, I could pay the additional fee to eliminate the ads. I can't afford $3 a month, but it's the principle. I'm already paying Amazon a sufficient amount with $139 a year for their service. So my solution is, number one, Netflix has become my first choice for streaming. And number two, most of the time I'm watching cable TV, where I almost always record the show so I can fast forward through the commercials. So I don't need Amazon's ad to watch their shows.
So Ray, I don't know if I can't remember if we were talking about this before the show started, but one of the concerns that I have is that Amazon's Prime, their quarterly report came out, and I can't remember. It's in one of the articles we're going to see today, but they made something like $300 million off the first quarter on the ad revenue, and I think it's like a lion hunting a prey that's bleeding. They've got the scent of blood now, and this is just going to be disastrous for us, because it is going to be lots and lots of commercials because that's where the money is, right? They've seen what they can do, and that's where we're going with this.
Yeah, but if most people be like me and stop using it, that they're going to see their viewership go way down, and they're not going to make that revenue that they think they're going to make.
Maybe
that's how you fight it.
Yeah, we'll see. Oh, new cola prompt engineer. Oh, this is Microsoft turning everyone into a oh, this is good. What tell us about this, Ray?
Okay, so there's an old adage: be careful what you ask for. And I think that applies to the way we word our prompts when using AI. Now, as terrific as AI can be, if it's a poorly worded prompt, you may not get the answer you're seeking. So the article states that in the coming months, Copilot for MS365, and that's the paid service that adds an AI assistant to Office apps, they're going to come out with an updated new autocomplete feature that offers suggestions to improve the prompts. The AI prompts. Now, at first glance, this feature may be geared towards the corporate world, but it will not surprise me if this feature becomes common for all AI users going forward.
But I think that's where we're going, isn't it? I mean, the better the prompt, the better the result, right?
Exactly right.
The more you use the product, the better you become.
True. That's right. That's right.
And you learn that a prompt alone doesn't give you a complete answer. You need to follow up with better suggestions.
Right.
Lead your AI.
Yes. And so this is, interesting. Well, okay. This is, let me just click this and we'll bring this up here. I guess you can't see it because of, all right. But this was the article.
Yeah, click over to mine.
Have you got? Oh, you got it. Okay. 5. Here we are. This is Frontiers. So if you are a Frontier customer and you have fiber, I mean, this is pretty impressive. I think that 5 gig internet with Wi-Fi 7. So it comes with a mesh router and everything. It's pretty impressive. So if you are, this is an interesting option. I guess they provide seat belts with it, so because it's pretty darn fast. But anyway, this is the 5 gig that we were talking about earlier. All right, let's come down. The next one was now this was an interesting article came out this morning. Google effectively brings Android Circle to search to any iPhone with Lens shortcut.
Skip one, right?
Did I skip one? Do you see it, Huey? I don't see it.
I'm switching over to, let's see. I got to present again. Share screen.
Right. Anyway, I'll do this one while you're figuring that out. Google effectively brings Android Circle. So one of the cool parts about the Android now is that you can take your finger and circle around something and it will do a search for you. And this is called Android Circle to Search. And iPhones can do this now if you have the Google Lens shortcut. So this is an interesting, if you do have an iPhone and you're interested in that technology, that may be what you want to have a look at. I'll flip over until you're ready there, Huey. And this was, of course, the new Pencil Pro. This is what we talked earlier about. The new Pencil Pro is a death sentence for Wacom Yanko design, which has the other one. Now we come down and this was the article. Prime Video users are in for ad streaming interruptions. Amazon announces 3 interactive formats intended to make shopping easier. Now, this article talks about what they are bringing these formats in for, and they're pitching these now to advertisers. So this is advertising types of ads they're going to be putting in, and these are all getting teed up to sell to advertisers, which of course is going to be placed into our Prime videos, right? This is what I'm talking about.
The feed. Anytime you pause the feed, that's right. When these will pop up, which is right.
Yeah,
Ray had talked about. Yep.
So bad news come. Did you find in? Did I miss anything, Huey?
No.
Okay. All right. Let's keep going. Now we talked about this article. This, of course, if you are looking at a new phone, this is the Pixel 8a. Have a look at that. We've covered that. Now this was very interesting. I don't know if you got this. Came out a couple of days ago. Google's hoping to improve the current drug discovery process by using AI to help create new cancer drugs and new drugs that will help. Because when humans do it, there's a 90% failure rate. When we try to create drugs that are helpful for people, there's when we go through all the clinical testing after all the research and development, about 90% of them fail. In other words, they can't be proved that they actually do any good. So they're hoping, Google is working very hard with this, and they're hoping that the new series of drugs, which makes it very easy, because when you're analyzing massive genetic sequences and how these sequences react to different medications and different molecules, and you're trying to figure all this out, it becomes really, really very complex problem. It takes a lot of human brain power to figure it all out. So Google is trying to do this with AI, and the scientists that are looking at this are very optimistic. So we may be seeing this may lead to new cancer therapy, more effective cancer therapy, or more effective, drugs that we might use. So I think it was a very interesting article. Did you guys read that one? Any comments on that? It's very well. It makes sense, right? I mean, it makes sense. Yeah. It makes sense.
Real good use.
The power of AI is the ability to analyze lots and lots of data in a very short amount of time.
Right. Huey. Jack Dorsey.
Jack Dorsey, of course, was a person who was the leader of the which is now called X.
Twitter.
But I'm sorry?
I was just saying it was Twitter.
Twitter, yeah. And he left, and he started his own Twitter, like, called Blue Sky, and he's now left them, or left the board anyway, and he's supporting X. So I'm still on X. I'm not a paid subscriber, but I'm seeing a lot of companies are still using it to publicize their information and to keep in touch with people. They say they lost a lot, and they probably have, but they probably lost a lot of crap too. And so I think X is still making it. And Blue Sky, I joined it, but I don't do anything with it. I probably haven't been on it since the day I joined it.
I'm on both.
Instacart is getting restaurant delivery thanks to Uber Eats.
Let's see. You missed one. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, I'll go over to you.
An AI-controlled fighter jet took the Air Force leader for a historic ride, and what it means for war. What they're doing is they're saying that within 10 years, we're going to have lots of airplanes that are AI flown, and they're not going to be flown by humans, but it'll be by AI. And so what's happening is war itself is going to be artificially intelligence. And, even now they're using drones a lot. They're using other AI things for what's going on in some of the wars over in the Mideast and over in Europe. So, it makes sense that airplanes are going to also be guided by AI.
Eventually, you'll have passenger planes that will be without somebody in the cockpit.
I want to see two pilots. I want to see two pilots in the front, and I want to meet them and make sure they're old enough to drive.
I saw a cartoon where the pilot was sitting in the passenger area with an iPad, and he says, "Yeah, I can fly this. I can fly this plane with my iPad."
The last flight I took, I didn't think those pilots were old enough to have driver's licenses. So I want to see their driver's license next time. what's with Instacart? What's this?
Instacart's pairing up with Uber Eats. And so they're also joining in on the food delivery from restaurants. And so you're seeing a lot of companies getting involved in delivering food. I was in McDonald's the other day and I watched 2 or 3 people coming in and taking bags out that they were delivering to people. So there's more and more of that, especially the younger people are having food delivered to them as opposed to getting out and getting into the fast food and other restaurants.
So do you, I mean, I tried it about a year ago. I tried one of the delivery services. It was interesting. I mean, it worked. It was fine. We're not in a big enough place where it really, I don't mind hopping in the car and going and getting it. Maybe if you're listening or out there and have you used one of the delivery services for your food? Huey, has anyone here? Any of Huey, Bob, Ray, anybody used?
To me, it's a way of getting out of the house and getting with
other people. Yeah.
So I'd rather, even if it's takeout, I'd rather go get it.
Yeah. It sort of gets you out of the house. I think I'm the same with you, Huey. Do you want to tell just before we start? Do you want to just mention WinSig?
The Windows Special Interest Group from the Central Florida Computer Society and the Sarasota Technology User Group is this Sunday, and I have posted all of the items that we're going to cover on Sunday at huey.net, and then go to the WinSig tab. And then you asked me to upload a couple of the articles, and those are down farther a little bit. Okay. And so it's this Sunday. You do have to be registered. If you're already registered, you don't have to register again. But if you haven't registered, go to huey.net and into the WinSig. I'm just trying to think where probably the best thing to do is drop me a line through the website, and I'll send you where you can sign up for it. You do have to be registered in order to attend.
Well, it is well attended, though, so well done. Okay, this was a good article. This was out of How to Geek. 8 signs that you need a new laptop. Sort of interesting.
I always have a set fast rule when you need a new laptop. If you start your computer when you get up in the morning and don't get access until lunchtime, you need a new computer.
So let me just give you the quick go through. Your device no longer serves the intended purpose. Your laptop doesn't support software updates. Your laptop remains overheated. You see graphic glitches, long time boot up, costly repairs, can't upgrade because of bottleneck. All those are issues regarding your laptop and signs that you might need a new one. But
and also your desktop. I have definitely come to the conclusion that I need to get a new computer.
Okay. Bob, capabilities of Gemini models in medicine.
Will Google's Gemini be your next diagnostician? They found that your Gemini does a better job at diagnosing your problem than many of your doctors. Sorry, Ron.
Well, the one thing they can't give Gemini it can't be empathetic. So empathy is a big factor when you go to see a doctor. You need empathy. Empathy is this very therapeutic feature as well. But
you don't think there'll be an AI for that in the future, Ron?
Well, maybe we'll see. Bob says, all right, quantum computing demystified.
Happens to be a very popular video.
Okay, actually, don't talk about this because we're going to play this on our Monday show. All right, I'm going to play this on the Monday show. So we're going to skip over that. If you want to listen to it, you want to see this, we're going to talk about on Monday. Arc. Now tell us about the Arc browser, Huey.
The Arc browser is something new. It's a whole different way of using a browser compared to the Chromium based. I haven't spent a lot of time with it. I am going to try to get some more time in and learn a little bit more. We're going to talk about this on Sunday.
I installed this thing on yesterday, and I didn't get the first base.
Right. It is completely different.
Yes, I'm
but
totally
there are a
lost.
lot of benefits, and the articles I'm reading, I have not seen anything negative about it. I've only seen positive articles.
The only negative I have is I can't use it.
Easily.
Huey, are there any other comments before we get into the last 10 minutes?
Okay. Yes.
Murray Stone says, I am also an insider. Oh, good for you, Murray. I haven't had any problems with it, but I don't use the fastest release version. Richard Clarkson, I pay the $2.99 for ad-free, as most of the ads I don't care for anyway. When I see a movie, I hate ads in it, so now I don't see any. Right. Murray says, it would be great if they could come up with something for Alzheimer's disease and other forms of dementia. Of course, that's all in the works.
Yeah, they're working on all of that.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Richard says, I use DoorDash a lot. They are good and fast too. It's interesting. Just before we go back to when I did use the service that brought my food, I was amazed. I mean, I ordered it, and within 10 minutes, it was and because you can prepay it all, so you don't even talk to the people. I got a text saying, it's on my front door, and it was like 10 minutes later. And how do they do that? How do they go to the restaurant, get the stuff, and get it up to my house so fast? Anyway, it is fast. It's no doubt about that. Gary says the real reason for buying a new laptop, tech addiction, money burning holes in my pocket. Gary, you are so right. You are so right. That is it for sure.
Huey, if you're getting ready to throw out that old computer that's giving you the hassles, you can ship it to me. I'd be willing to play with it.
Yeah. What I'll probably do is wipe it and see what's salvageable in it. But I'll consider that. Absolutely.
13. Huey, do you want to talk about this one? 13 point Windows 11. I guess these are Windows 11 settings, right?
Yeah. Important Windows settings to change immediately. It could be, I think some of them are also 10. And this is another one of the items that I have on the list of that I'm going to talk about on Sunday.
Okay, good. That's a good
one. And what I do is I'll bring up the article, and we'll actually go through the article. And so we don't just throw out like this, where we just talk very briefly on something. We go into each article quite deeply.
Right. And you have a lot of people commenting on it as well. So they talk about it. It's an interactive thing.
Yes, and asking questions. And then all of the links are on the Huey.net on the WinSig page, so they can go look at the articles themselves at any time, either before or after the show.
Excellent. Now,
this show, we usually, Huey can't get through all those articles, but the links are always there. So
I want to thank Mike Ungerman for sending this article in. This is I hadn't seen this in the news, but Ring agrees to pay $5.6 million after cameras were used to spy on customers. Now, Bob, did you see this article? Are you in the know on this one? Anyway,
I see the art. I got money from this.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I didn't, and the reason why is I don't have any inside cameras. All of my cameras are outside. And it was they're only paying for people who had cameras inside.
Oh, is that right? Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right. So anyway, just some information if you do.
I don't have those cameras anymore.
Yeah. Right. Let's have a look down here. Oh, now this is very interesting. I don't think Chris is on today listening, but Google Photos will soon allow you to back up all new folders if you want. So this, I think, is going to be really cool in that because backup is always a problem. And I know we've talked about takeout before, which is a Google sort of thing, but this, which is always complicated, but this looks like it's going to be really easy, where you'll be able to automatically back up whatever you want to put in specific folders to back up. And that's pretty cool. I think that'll be and it'll be real easy to do, which you can't do right now. But that's coming. So watch for that. That's a new feature. This was so this was is it worth paying for a third-party mobile photo editing app? The reason I put that in there is the answer probably is, well, you can read the article and decide. But I brought that in because I talked about, if you haven't seen Geeks on Tour, it wasn't. No, they did it on our show on Monday, right? It was Clip. What was it called?
Clipchamp from Microsoft.
Clipchamp from Microsoft. Yeah,
which a video editing.
It's a video editor.
Yeah, not a photo editor.
It's not a photo editor, but that Clipchamp, I wanted to bring it up to talk about it. Go watch our Monday show. That Clipchamp, which was a free editor from Microsoft, man, that was pretty impressive. And I went and tried it out, and I am blown away by this free product from Microsoft. But this article, of course, is on photo editing and the different apps you can use for editing photos and whether you want to do that.
And one that Chris talks about quite a bit is PhotoMine, which I did pay for, and it is an excellent third-party program.
Right.
Worth paying and having it on my phone.
Now we're going to talk about this on Monday. This is actually the lead slide for my Monday big presentation on 5G. But Japan develops the world's first 6G device that is 20 times quicker than 5G. And this is getting speeds of 100 gigabits down, and they can now broadcast it over up to 300 feet down with that type of speed. So we're going to talk a little bit about
your video on 5G is already outdated.
That's right. Well, wait till we get you got to see the whole thing. You got to put things in. So this is my lead-in slide for the Monday for my presentation. Now this is Bob. Did you see this? Google Play Store is rolling out a new badge for government-made apps. This is like a certification process. Did you see that one?
Nope.
So this is so if the government, I guess, has apps out, and you want to make sure that it's that they're certified, Google is going to they'll be labeling these, which brings us up to another thing that we all talk a lot about. Just to reiterate, don't sideload apps out that aren't in the Play Store, because you're really setting yourself up for a big disaster, right, Bob?
Yeah, it occasionally happens that an app on the Play Store might not be what you want, but the percentage of getting something if you sideload it are way, way, way more than if you got it directly from the store.
Right.
Sideloading is asking for trouble.
It is. I upgraded my the security for Google releases the May 2024 Android security update. So I did that and got my security update. Did you do your Pixel 6, Bob, yet?
Yeah, but I didn't find any difference in my Bluetooth. It's still
I didn't either, but it is the May fix is out now, and you can upload it just if you have that. This was this was interesting. This was did you guys see this? Google is working on a faster Android setup process that uses Wi-Fi and cable when you're setting up a new phone. Now, I've had the opportunity this year to do a couple of, one was my wife's, and I can't remember who the other one. I did it twice this year, and it was quite easy to do. If you haven't, this was Android to Android. If you go and you buy a new phone and you go to, it says, do you want to transfer it from your old phone? And you say yes, and it sort of boom, it goes, and it just happens, right? And it's amazing how well it works, but it's slow. It takes a long time for that process. So Google is working on a faster Android setup that uses Wi-Fi and a cable. So you'll still do the Wi-Fi thing, but there will still be a cable as well that plugs in between the two phones, and this will make the whole process faster. And this apparently is going to come out pretty quick if it already hasn't. So I think that'll be very, very interesting. I mean, I don't set up a lot of phones usually, but interesting that that's going to happen.
I usually take it down to the service provider and say, here.
Yeah, well, they know how to do that. Yeah. Oh, now hold on. Before we come to the next slide, Ray, you want this phone. You think you have a phone that you have a flip phone, right? But Ray, this is the phone for you. You will all want this phone. All right. Did you guys see this?
I hear the drum roll coming.
All right. Drum roll coming. This is the old Nokia classic 3210 that we all had many, many years ago. Yeah. They're reintroducing it with a 4G chip in it now, and they're reintroducing this, and you'll be able to buy it'll be a modern phone, but it'll be the old 3210 classic.
I can't wait.
Can't you wait? Everyone just gonna it's going to be in 3 colors. Oh, darn it. It says at the bottom, but won't be available in the US. Oh, rats.
Thank you, Ron. You lifted up my hopes so high.
I know. I'm sorry. I didn't read that at the bottom, but won't be available. Oh, I'm sorry. I should not.
So, Ron, you can get it in Canada, right?
Well, I guess. Yeah, I guess.
But who owns Nokia now?
I don't know.
I think they divested of it early on when they got sold, when Microsoft first bought them, and then they restarted the company, and they weren't really into phones, but now I think they're branching back.
Now listen, but I had one. Huey, did you have one of these?
I know I never had a Nokia.
I
had a phone like that.
Was atrocious.
I had a Nokia, but not that model.
Exactly. Yeah, we did that one. We had that one. Which is better. This is just a reference article, 8 versus the SC, and you can have a look at that if you want.
Have we finished all the articles this week? Wow.
Yeah, this is, and then this is actually, I don't want to go over this because this is part of my presentation on Monday. So don't anyone click on this article. Leave it alone. Don't read this article. It's my 5G on Monday. Can't look at that. Oh, and I want to thank Mike Hungerman again for sending this in. Car Tech YouTube. This is a great channel. I subscribe to it. This is about cars. If you're interested in gear tech for cars, subscribe. This is a YouTube channel. You can just click there and subscribe to it. It's really cool. You'll have lots of fun if you're interested in cars. Now, there was a couple of our, I know we're getting scammers tricking Android users installing fake Android. Right, and this is another one. This was Tom's guide. Scammers are tricking Android users into installing fake antivirus apps that actually are malware. A lot of this is side loading stuff as well. So you don't want to get into that. We've talked about that. I'm just trying to see if we've got any. What time is it? We're pretty. Where are we?
We're up there. Yeah.
Top of the hour.
What is the future of area codes?
Yep.
Oh, there we go. Area codes. We'll finish with Bob's. Any comments? This is a good one too, eh?
Yeah, navigating the numbers. Well, area codes happen to be very important if you want to make a phone call. But originally, area codes were there because it's a way to eliminate the operator. You didn't need an operator anymore once area codes went into effect.
In the early days, the second digit was always either a 1 or a 0, and that's why they were such a limited number. Now they've changed all that, almost unlimited.
Well, very good. It's top of the hour. I keep telling everyone we've got to start 2-hour shows. We can't get through all the stuff in an hour.
One final comment.
One final comment. Murray says, my son drives for Uber Eats and DoorDash in a small community and makes really good money. He has so many orders. Very good. Very good. Yeah. So thank you everyone for coming. We do appreciate it. Just click that like and subscribe. Subscribe really is important. The like is important as well. We hope that we've had a good hour together, and we'll see you again in it will be back same time next week with lots of more news. Come and watch our show on Monday. I'm going to be doing a major talk on 5G technology and where we are in 2024. Should be lots of fun. Bob's got some videos to play. Ray's got a great outro for us. And don't forget Huey's Winsig on Sunday. He does a great job of that. Very popular. So come and everyone, let's watch that. Anyway, thank you for coming. Thanks. Huey. Thanks, Ray. Thanks, Bob. We'll see you guys Monday. Bye now.
Bye-bye.